Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now December 12th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2 and The Bad Batch, a lot of fans have been very much intrigued about what's to come by both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, as well as Disney CEO Bob Chapek, and what they really have up their sleeve when it comes to all these different tricks for what they're about to do with the new Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of entertaining things on there from time to time, and make sure to interact with you guys further. So, what's really all the more exciting now has everything to do with the fact that not only are we getting very close to the reveal of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, but we're also learning more and more about the Ahsoka Tano show, given that a lot of sets are being built for that series, and Rosario Dawson is really working hard on her training to really becoming Ahsoka Tano again, since she's going to have a lot more action scenes, obviously, on comparison to what she did in The Mandalorian Season 2. So, that brings us to where we are now. Exactly what's been going on between Favreau, Filoni, George Lucas, and what's really been going on with Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland. Now, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland is that we already know that that specific show, Star Wars The Acolyte, has been running into countless issues, and this is one of the major reasons as to why it's not even going to begin filming until April of next year, if that. And whether or not they're going to be able to release this thing in 2023 all depends on if principal photography is going to move along smoothly, or if they're going to run into multiple bumps in the road. It all depends on the creators of the show. Now, that brings us to that show specifically, and actress Brie Larson. Now, specifically, of course, with both Disney and Lucasfilm heavily involved with multiple Star Wars TV shows and new Star Wars films in the early development phase, both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are currently getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano series for Disney+. Now, it's described, however, that behind the scenes, major problems have been happening with a new Star Wars TV series for Disney+, that is set to involve actress Brie Larson for the role of Maeve, who is set to become a Jedi god in the series. It's described that recently Larson has been very overly demanding with the new direction of the show by Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland, and has been causing nothing but trouble during pre-production. Now, recently, however, Larson's role as the character Maeve has been drastically reduced to now only having a handful of scenes for the Acolyte TV series, given that she has been creating nothing but creative differences between herself and Leslye Headland by a combination of overly demanding unnecessary additional screen time in the show to also being rude with the writers and directors coming on board of the Acolyte. Now, this had forced Leslye Headland to take a step back and rewrite many scenes for the role of Maeve in the new Star Wars TV series. As of now, Larson is no longer a main character in the new show that takes place during the end of the High Republic era, which is roughly 70 years to 80 years before Episode 1. Now, Larson recently had many of her scenes deleted from the scripts of the first few episodes, and now won't be showing up until midway through the new TV show. This has caused much frustration for Larson, as she originally was going to be the very main character of the series, and is now being reduced to just a side character for the show. Further, it's described that both Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland, of all people, have been frustrated with Brie Larson, the last people that you would expect to be frustrated with her. Of course, over her demands and for the new show, which says a lot about her as a person. As the same thing happened with the last Avengers film, the cast members like Jeremy Renner had issues behind the scenes with Brie Larson. Not just that, however, but Larson is said to be the one on the verge of leaving the show if any further drastic changes are made to the scripts. Larson's character Maeve is set to be unveiled at Star Wars Celebration to show fans all the new characters for the High Republic-oriented series by Lucasfilm. Now, Larson originally had 2 TV shows, the other of which was an animated one that was going to be for Disney Plus featuring Maeve's origin story, which has now been cancelled by Bob Chapek, as it posed a risk of going way too far with this character before she is even established within the Star Wars lore. Now, on top of this, Brie Larson even tried to actually ask Kathleen Kennedy of getting a role for The Mandalorian Season 3 some weeks ago, and really tried to become a part of that story, and things just would not work out due to both Jon Favreau and Filoni realizing that this actress is the source of many problems for the Acolyte TV series. Her losing her screen time came as a result of being way too overly demanding, and also creating more pressure on Leslye Headland to actually, of course, write the show in a different way. Now here's the thing about this. We already know that Brie Larson has been nothing but trouble with some of the Marvel projects out there. We're talking about Captain Marvel and the Avengers. So I'm not all that surprised that she would even be able to push Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye over the edge of getting frustrated and annoyed with Brie Larson's, demands. We already know that Brie Larson is an aspiring writer and director, in case you guys did not know. That's really what she wants to become. That's what she's trying to do as well. And it just goes to show you that in the past couple of months, there were moments in which Leslye Headland allowed Brie Larson to take part of some of the creative aspects of the Acolyte series, at least for her character, Maeve. And that Brie Larson was even being used as somewhat of an acting coach, or had to kind of pretty much lead some of the new unknowns that are going to become a part of the Acolyte TV show. And that kind of says a lot. That just goes to show you that maybe she's just very ego-driven. She's very much self-absorbed. She doesn't really know exactly how to handle, her actresses that are working alongside her or working in an ensemble cast. It seems to be very difficult for her, as her ego is too strong. That's what it really comes off like, right? So, the Acolyte TV show, unfortunately, it is still on. I still, to this very day, believe it's not going to really end up being all that impressive, given that they are running into countless issues. I mean, this has got to be like the 12th or 15th problem that Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye have ran into. It's just like hitting a brick wall for them that they cannot break through. And they can try as hard as they want, they really need something to break through that brick wall of problems. And I think that they're going to be facing a lot more issues once they enter into principal photography. Because let's face it, I mean, look at what happened with Rangers of the New Republic, and that didn't even get to pre-production, basically. They had a lot of issues with that show. And same exact thing went for Rogue Squadron. First it was delayed, now it's on again. Now they're also running into other problems with Patty Jenkins. I mean, it's just a mess. So, the Acolyte series is like the third example, the third most recent example, I should say, under Disney's wing of having problems with a show that is really kind of problematic. So, I think that overall, given that Larson's role has been decreased drastically, is great news. The fact that Brie Larson brought things way too far, to the point where even Kathleen Kennedy and Leslye Headland, of all people, began to have issues and were beginning to get frustrated. I think that this says a lot about Brie, not just as a person, but also as an actress, and why she really should not be involved with a show like the Acolyte TV series, right? So, overall, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this entire situation. We've been hearing about this for a number of months now, of Brie Larson having problems on the sets of the Acolyte TV show, doing all these rehearsals with the scripts being in place. All the sets are built, they're just getting ready to begin filming by this April. A lot of rehearsals are already beginning. So, like I say, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.